Is we live?
So I guess the conversation is. Are we?
We live.
Now we live.
Okay. I know it. This may be weird, y'all. We didn't say to come out yet, but wanted to try something different. Have a couple conversations. See where people's thoughts are on Money in the Bank, during Money in the Bank.
Oh, what you think?
Pardon me. I'm actually watching this shit right now.
Absolutely. Uh-oh, big thumb.
Oh, see, nope. I guess that's the conversation we should have had first, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I genuinely don't know where I am to know where you are right now.
I'll just say,
I think I will say, I think you're further ahead than I am.
Oh, my bad.
No, all good. And actually, I see people popping in watching. If anybody's in the chat anywhere and y'all want to holler at us with any thoughts you have about this pay-per-view, any thoughts you have going into SummerSlam, and you want to talk to the squad, hit the DM.
Hit the DM. We'll shoot the link, baby. We want to see y'all face in the place. God dang it.
So
Thursday.
Bloodline won, which shouldn't really be a surprise, right?
Oh, see now, Bloodline still wrestling on my TV.
Oh, my fault.
I
thought you were ahead of me. My fault.
Nah, Cody getting thumbed as we speak.
All right, I'm gonna shut my mouth for the rest of the duration.
That's cool. Oh, something else going on?
I don't know what's going on right now. It's still going on is a thing.
Hey. Yeah, man. It's like, you know what I mean? There's a couple folks in the chat, man. You know what I mean? Shout out. Say something, niggas. God damn.
Facts.
Don't be scared. We for y'all. We want y'all to pop on and talk.
That's the thing.
We already talked.
We actually did talk about this whole pay-per-view. As a matter of fact, I got to figure out where the predictions is at right now. Let's see. This is all live tallying, huh? Because myself, Fam, and DDM all had the thumb line, and Mimi and Math had the whatchalls.
The whites.
We live. Yeah, Vimrock. We live right now.
Yeah.
Peace to you.
We irresponsibly live right now.
It is kind of irresponsible, isn't it? 1999's favor said, I actually like the Drew cash in. Seems like Twitter hated it.
Did they? Everything.
I didn't check the timeline. We were having a rousing conversation. We damn near booked that match. We booked like 3 or 4 matches for SummerSlam.
Oh yeah. No, we was in next year without booking.
Well, what were your thoughts on that? Would you have preferred a situation where Drew McIntyre had held on to that belt for a bit, or do you like that briefcase for a bit? Do you like the fact that he tried to redeem himself from WrestleMania the next damn match?
I love that it's gone. They don't have to they don't have to fumble over. Is it that? Is it what we gonna do? Is he gonna win or not?
Right.
Yeah, they beat niggas up, boy.
That's what they do.
I think it's better that we get rid of that case, and then you know what I'm saying, because that can't be a roadblock.
Facts.
Book of freedom.
100% at this point. It's kind of just you got to get to the other stories.
Yeah. Shout out to Creed.
Let me mute this a little bit. I'm doing 5 things at once. Yeah, so I'm okay with the Drew cash in. It don't bother me none.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also someone who was like, I think that story, it doesn't need a title
at all.
It's the story is Punk and Drew, and at this point now it's Punk and Drew and Seth and Drew. So I don't know if a they don't need a title or anything there. And I know there may be questions in regards to Gunther and who he may or who he should be facing at SummerSlam when he finally I don't want to say cashes in, but gets the match that he was allotted after the King of the Ring.
I think it's the thing I was talking about earlier in the week where Damian Priest has been kind of angling himself like, I'm gonna win by myself. You guys stay inside. Like he wants to be the good guy in the crew with the bad guys.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that evens it out where it's going to be Gunther and Damian Priest. Sorry, Damian.
That's the thing. Out of all of this, even though Damian low-key, he been beating some talent. It's not like even if love him. I think that's what I was saying recently. Love him or hate him, he's still being put into situations where he's beating credible talent.
Of course. And I think it's a maybe a truncated version of what Kofi did between Mania and Brock, where he was having the matches at every pay-per-view. They're like, is this the one? Is this the time he's gonna lose? Is this the time? And that's kind of how we've been looking at him because we knew, time is fleeting. Facts. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Shoot, I gotta turn that post Money in the Bank the scrum. You know what I mean? He said, I'm being that scrum. I don't think it started.
Listen, they said it was scrum immediately, but you can't scrum immediately afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you got to wipe off first.
Right now, it's the homie Big E having conversation.
Yeah, man. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I saw him warming the crowd up early, and listen, he had me. I was like, yeah, nigga. Like,
I thought something was about to go down.
Niggas miss Big E, man.
It's dope to hear his voice. It's dope to hear him giving his takes on the pro wrestling. I kind of wish he was able to do something though. Yeah, I can't be mad because it could be a lot worse. But goddamn.
Yeah. No, I'm still tight about COVID.
God, fuck. I'm sorry. You two, don't get mad at me. Nah. So it's the mention of John Cena, which I think was probably
that's the biggest story coming out of the night.
And it ain't even like the story ain't even really begun. He dropped that just to put the merch on the internet.
I need that towel. I'm getting the towel.
The last, what was it? The last time is now.
Mm-hmm. You go outside in the summertime, man. Especially like if they got me out there frying bird or something, and you out there in the middle of the goddamn field, away from buildings because you got a goddamn tank and fire. Be in the sun. You need that rag, man. I got my cowboy rag. So yeah, man. I think put that John Cena rag in rotation for the summertime.
You may, yes, but shit, it's hot. You may need to do that regardless. But I'm surprised.
Like, dang, all right. Shout out Zell.
Oh, peace to Zell. Shit, peace to Zell. You already know the vibe. This one, my Yamin is Yamin. But you already know the vibe. Dang, Zoe Stark. Yeah. I saw the botch. That looked. She finished the match.
Yeah,
she finished the match.
You ever seen that? The meme of Michael Irvin talking about his CTE. It's sad. It's very sad. Well, I was watching after that spot. I'm watching it like, damn, is she really jacked up or is she okay? And she was catching people. Yeah, she caught her when Shorty, what you call him, doctor? Yeah.
So it wasn't like she was out there stumbling and bumbling, but
hey, listen, I've watched some of my favorite receivers get their quote unquote bell rung and then go in and catch a pass.
Facts.
However, they got their cerebral cord was sizzling.
That's what happens. That's 100% what happens. But it seemed all of those ladder matches seem like somebody got killed. Somebody was about to get killed.
I mean, that's Laura. That's really what we're saying. Is like she was concussed. You know what I'm saying?
It looked like something bad,
Yeah.
but it's just hard. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's really, you know what I mean, or if it's something more serious. Because sometimes it's just they're very good at acting in the show.
Correct. I.e., like a Daniel Bryan. Right.
Exactly.
I love him. I think he's one of the best pro wrestlers ever. Like, he's probably on my Mount Rushmore, like all time, not like current, but like all time.
Fair.
But every time he comes in and plays with, I can't feel my arm, and he get the tug of that. I don't like that stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That was some of the best. After he came back, and from leaving, and there was especially some of that. What was it? It was wrestling Sami Zayn during the pandemic. It was that one apron spot, and it looked like hell. And then there was a photo from the other side, like, nah, he was safe as hell. He's just very, and I think he's mature enough, understands his body and the sport enough to know how to take care of himself, which I think is the best. Get your body functioning and limber and know how to do your job, and you should be fine, apparently.
I mean, the word is, I was watching an interview or something today, and they said everything you do in there hurts. Everything.
Right. It's not like anything is
it was McAfee, as a matter of fact. I was watching a McAfee and Triple H clip, and they were talking about how everything you do in there hurts.
Yeah, just
Uncle D, that nigga be stressing me out, cause I'll be like, yo, is he all right? What's going on? Did he activate his CTE? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, I don't know what happened.
She did. How many times has Io Sky jumped with a trash can?
More than once?
Well, hold up. Let me.
She did it at Chamber, and she might have did it at War Games.
I think it's at least twice. It's at least. I went to go search for the one, and there's War Games NXT, there's Survivor Series War Games.
Moose, that's you?
But there was this. Moose, that you was funny. That's the name of the episode. Io Sky said, "I'm trash."
That's very funny. That is very goddamn funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. Anyway, Drew just went off on the pre-show. Shit, I didn't have the audio up. God damn it. 23. Oh, Cena's on right now. Good.
What are you talking about?
Let's see. It's a program of stories ending and new ones beginning. He said he's never been concerned with legacy, which is interesting.
That's a lie.
Well, for somebody with a legacy like his, you would think that he would think about that.
Right. It's like LeBron saying that.
One of these, the next Blafties, we need to have a conversation about LeBron. I need to understand, like, what's going on right now with him and his son. It's not a conversation for right now, though.
Oh, no.
At all. Again, if there's anybody out there that's got any thoughts that they want to let fly, let them fly. Just hit us with a DM, and we'll let the people talk.
Think John coming back for that Saudi money one time? One time for the one time?
What's the next Saudi show? That'd be my first question, right? Let's see. What's next for WWE? WWE
Yes, he
24 pay-per-view live.
You got y'all a weird asterisk championship in the bubble, and then he got you that weird mid-season witch count. So yeah, it is what it is. I would love to see some women involved in the bloodline, but I think it's about to get too violent.
Crown Jewels
punching everybody in the face.
Crown Jewels November 2nd. He could. Is that too early? He said Elimination Chamber. He said WrestleMania. He said Royal Rumble. I don't think he mentioned. Got you. I don't think he mentioned Survivor Series at all.
They say Wade Barrett talking about getting back in there.
Is that necessary?
I mean, unless the doctor has some bad news, nigga.
He's good, but I don't know if what more does he need to do? Like, do we need to see Wade with a title?
If you look at Wade Barrett's career, it ain't like you saying, yeah, he definitely should be a Hall of Fame nigga. So if you think my career was over, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Well, I just think he's good in the position he's in right now, in my opinion.
He is good there.
Maybe waiting the Rumble spot, maybe, but I mean, to what end? He just has the match.
Can he get in the Rumble and do the Booker T thing? Can he get in the Rumble and do the I'm beating a nigga up and on commentary at the same time?
Maybe, but it would. I feel like it would be a one and done. I don't know if I need to see him wrestling in the ring though anymore, but I also don't need to see Sheamus anymore.
What up, Dempsey?
He ain't really talking about nothing right now. That's my thing. Like,
I might cry, Joe. If the Big E come in there and retire Cena, I might cry.
Is this one of them situations where there's really no other story, or the people not asking the right questions?
No, who knows? I mean, I hope it's not. Never mind. I ain't gonna do that.
He just mentioned that he would answer all questions. I mean, I don't know. What else do you ask John Cena though? He says he's retiring. They already got the whole retirement wardrobe out there.
I asked him how long you hold on to his hair.
Do you here's the heel turn question he's being asked.
Well, of course. Yes, tell me what the story you're going to tell. Yes, that makes sense.
I mean, he looking stone faces.
That would be amazing. That makes 100% sense unless Seth Rollins Punk, which makes more sense. So
Cena said you'll get my authentic self, whatever the fuck that means.
Cena's been mentioned by Cody a great deal of times in interviews. If you listen to him, he goes, that's my guy. Every time I have a question about X, Y, and Z, you know, blah, blah, blah. All right, man, first guy to come in here and stand on it, stand on business. With his actual opinion on the premium live event, brother Vin Forte.
What's going on?
The Billy Building, one of the bulls.
Yeah,
in the China shop. Did you have any thoughts on the pay-per-view from this evening, Vin Rocca?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they did the cash in so soon. I was not expecting that. I kind of. Oh, I think my camera's fucking up.
Vin's here, like, still with us, however.
I am, but hold on 1 second. I'm screwing up here. I had not come prepared.
Did not come prepared to stand on it. I mean, the Drew McIntyre conversation is interesting.
Yeah, I just I don't know. It didn't need the intrigue of like a big cash in, because he's got the whole thing going on with CM Punk, and I thought Damian Priest was gonna get sort of punked out by Finn Balor eventually, and that was gonna lead to the implosion of the Judgment Day. Now it's kind of like, you know, you've lost that card that you can play, whereas the whole thing with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre didn't really need a belt.
That's a good point, Coach. Well, yeah, I think
he doesn't need one. I feel like him and them feel like he's owed one. If you understand
Yes,
what I mean.
yeah.
Like what he did during, Thunderdome era, pandemic era. I think he feels, and a lot of folks feel he's owed. I never cared.
Yeah, I don't care either. What is he owed? He had his WrestleMania moment.
But they all
It was 5 seconds,
right?
but nobody's owed anything.
I don't think they're owed, but I'm saying they're not owed anything, but they all want that. They feel like, oh, I better get that, especially after what I did. But I don't know. I think Coates hit the nail on the head for me.
They asked the Vince question over there.
When those briefcases are held for so long, I get so annoyed with it.
Did they ask a Vince McMahon question in the post show?
Like Voldemort K.
Were they asking about Shane possibly going over to AEW, which would be the dumbest thing ever?
I don't know.
Everyone involved.
Wait,
Why would it be? I don't know if it's dumb for Shane. Why is it dumb for Shane?
You want to be an alternative to WWE, then you got to hire one of the McMahons.
They're doing it. One sec. Cena said that his journey towards the end is going to be January to December.
Oh, so a year.
He said it's not stopping at WrestleMania. He said if all goes to plan, it should be January to December.
But I thought he said he was. Oh, it'll be his last WrestleMania, is what he said.
That'll be his last
Not
WrestleMania.
being at WrestleMania. Yeah. Okay.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it, John.
Why do we need it?
I think I do, because he's never. The thing about Cena is Cena's been really good at being the dude, because he's always spoke with like very specific intent, and
right.
He
That's why he's good in
never
the movie.
BS'd. Right. Yeah. He never like BS'd. I think that's the case. I think he cleared his movie schedule, Kofi.
He be working too, so yeah, he probably got it. He may have a couple in the can. Pause.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
I don't know. I don't. Truthfully, I have more to say about the LeBron thing, but that I think we got to say for LeBron.
Yeah, I think we got that's. I think that's. I was thinking about it, but I'm not too learned about that. Is Cena and Orton are currently there? Aren't they? Are they both at the same number of world title reigns?
I think John Cena has one more or a couple more.
Because I'm like, if he's saying a year, I'm wondering what's the story. Is the story going to be I'm trying to beat Ric Flair's record? Are they going to? This would make sense for them to do that for him, right?
I guess so, but they also have to watch out that they don't fall back into nostalgia baiting, because they almost did it with
the whole
Rock.
thing is. But it's a farewell tour. It's all gonna be nostalgia.
I was gonna say, I feel like it may just be that.
Yeah,
you may have a couple of new interactions, but for the most part,
I just don't know what new they can add to the John Cena formula that's gonna make like one final run worth it. Especially when he's such a relatively young guy, you should never say never. If he's truly gonna hang it up and do. I was going to say what Shawn Michaels did, but even Shawn Michaels came back for a match. Even though it wasn't a singles match, he still came back and embarrassed himself in Saudi Arabia.
To be honest, that wasn't Shawn. That was Kevin. That was Kevin Michael.
That was Higginbottom?
Higginbottom? It was Michael Higginbottom. So Cena and Flair are tied at 16. Cena's definitely winning a title. He's winning a world title.
He'll win. If he does, it's that Damian Priest belt.
No, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Is it? Are you so sure of that? Because
yes.
Imagine a Cody John Cena program at like a SummerSlam.
Homelander versus Peacemaker.
First of all, that's who's retiring him. I am 100% sure.
Okay.
Cody is retiring him.
I think it's going to be A-Town. Like I have no delusions of them like not doing something that's not random, but like somebody who you're not expecting to be.
It's gonna be Austin Theory.
He'd be on my list.
Yuck.
Or
yeah.
No, there's only two people. There's only two people.
Austin Theory or R-Truth.
If it was R-Truth, people would.
That should be the first match. That should be Monday night.
Yeah.
Who you think you are retiring on me? Like,
well, yeah.
You can't retire on yourself.
The fact that they booked John Cena but didn't book R-Truth is actually kind of crazy.
They got a year to do it.
He's got to
But,
mention
yeah.
it Monday.
Yeah, they got a year to do it.
They gotta do it for all the little Jimmies.
I woke up, I was confused. I thought I saw John Cena. Cena versus
Y'all didn't
Damian Priest.
Y'all didn't see the tweet? Y'all didn't see
I
the
didn't see the
crying
tweet.
tweet that R-Truth threw up earlier?
I haven't seen
No.
anything.
What'd you think of the? I really liked the. Look, we've been saying for months now that ever since Kevin Dunn left, the production has stepped up. But now it's like the graphics, like the whole package of the show, like the sneaky running around, like the blue, not blue, the green and yellow graphics they had tonight. Like that was some pretty sharp stuff.
Yeah, no,
It's clean. It's really clean, and it just makes people doing other things kind of look rough. Like they are.
Yeah.
Like I'm starting to turn a corner. And it really started today that it popped into my head. You know, how everybody's like, "Oh man, pro wrestling is up, man. It's up for pro wrestling." I kind of think WWE is up.
Yeah. Because the other companies are like almost across the board are in down periods. AEW, for as much as I think they are climbing out of the hole, it's one of those things where you're not going to know they're out of the hole until they're out of it. And then you have New Japan, which basically all but announced less than a month ago that, like, hey guys, we're not doing so good and we got a 10-point plan to get back to where we are.
Christ.
And then TNA, who is doing all sorts of TNA-esque stuff.
Yeah,
as much as they've got that cool thing going on with NXT, they've also lost a lot.
There's a lot.
They're
going
making
on,
a very bold move, getting in bed with NXT, as they've already been burned by hopping in bed with AEW. Where AEW was like, "Nope, we're doing all the booking, and all of our guys are winning." Like they didn't really get anything from getting in bed with AEW, and so this partnership, though a new company that really didn't even exist at the time of the AEW partnership, this looks like it's working better for them. You're getting Shawn Michaels mentioning those guys that they've had. Like he was just talking about Joe Hendry, and he would love to use him. Come over and do some things. And the way they used Jordan Grace a couple of times, this is to me already a bit better than what happened with AEW and that other Forbidden Door.
Well, the main difference, because I know what the AEW people are going to say. They're going to say, well, at the time, like you had the pandemic affecting things, which is true. And also, the buy rates were way up when Kenny Omega was their champion, and viewership was up a significant amount, which is all true. But the main thing that didn't happen during that time, which is happening now, is guys and gals in TNA are going on WWE programming, where they weren't going on AEW programming that much. Like at the time, people were like, "Oh, are we gonna get Jordynne Grace and Deonna Purrazzo?" It's like,
100%.
Well, we got Deonna Purrazzo after she was actually signed to AEW.
Right.
Jordynne Grace never went over to AEW. Meanwhile, like they put her in the Rumble in WWE. Right. Like you couldn't put her in a better position.
Right. Correct. And I think that's the thing. I mean, they even did that with Mickie James a while back, if y'all remember. You know what I mean? They let her bring the title in and everything. So that relationship has been all right for a bit.
Yeah, it's there, yeah.
But it's also because TNA is not a threat.
Correct.
Right. Which I mean, that's regular WWE. That's not new at all. They play with Evolve. A lot of those companies,
ECW. They'll get money in the ECW back.
They'll get in bed and be
right
friendly
now.
with them. The Smoky Mountain, all that stuff. Like they'll get in bed with them, but mostly it's because they're smaller and can benefit WWE more than. I don't think that the most Smoky Mountain got was like 2 Undertaker matches on like 2 house show matches one weekend. They didn't
also,
really like.
Shout out to Joe Dixon. Next Bulls episode, we've got to watch Joe Dixon sent over Armored MMA, which is medieval cage fighting.
What the F?
They got armor on for real?
Like imagine a cage, like an MMA cage fight, but they're wearing like medieval gear with like swords and shields.
Lit. Joe, don't send that to me. I don't want to see it before I have to watch it.
I already sent it to you. So
Yeah, I'm not
it.
watching it though. I'm not watching.
Yeah, we
it.
can watch
I
it live.
I haven't seen any of those videos in there yet.
Yeah, I think they were prepared. I think somebody had to know that Cena was going to be on here and he was going to be barring.
Cena's winning a world title. That's not a.
It's not up for debate.
That's not a theory. That's a spoiler or whatever Heyman said.
Whatever Paul Heyman, whatever sleepless Paul Heyman.
I hope he's sleeping
Right now.
Yeah, he's taking a big nap right now.
Cena just said, "Let's have some fun next year." We're not seeing him till December at the earliest, I imagine.
Yeah, this is just him sort of saying, "Hey, watch out, I'm coming."
Right.
Yeah.
Not yet. But watch for me around Rumble time.
That's interesting. I guess that makes sense. You kind of want to.
Give the kids something to look forward to.
I would also imagine that DDM, some other people would have preferred another women's match on the show because they probably had time for another match. But I mean, if you're gonna add something that's not pro wrestling, like an actual pro wrestling match, John Cena announcing his retirement and then spending time laying it out for next year, it kind of fits. The last pay-per-view they were naming the Indianapolis stuff, like they're very much into. It seems like they've been very much into letting you know what's going to happen star-wise. Shouts out to y'all.
Good, because that's the one thing that I hated that they didn't do during the dark period of like 2018 to 2020.
Right.
Where people were, Vince was rewriting shows on the fly and you didn't know what was going on. It's like, it's just such a relief to know that at the very least, you know what's coming up on Raw the next week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the storylines are going to be for the most part a month from now. You always want a little surprise, but you want to know, like, okay, here's where the Bloodline storyline is going. Here's where the Uncle Howdy. Well, I don't know where the Uncle Howdy stuff. I'm sure I'm in the minority. I hate the Uncle Howdy stuff.
I hate
already.
Hate's a strong word, I understand what you're saying.
I hate it. I think, and someone asked me recently, well, what's the difference? Like, did you not like the Undertaker? And the difference between, I thought about it for a while. The difference between someone like the Undertaker and someone like, the Fiend or Uncle Howdy or any of these Wyatt Six people, is that. Yeah, the Undertaker had some accoutrements where he would shoot lightning or whatever. But when he got in the ring, the main attraction was he's going to beat the crap out. He's a big, strong man who, he's undead, quote unquote, but he's going to beat the crap out of you. That's not the same as the Wyatt Six people. They're not framed, at least right now, as people who are going to come in and beat the brakes off of you because they're big and have these big, powerful in-ring abilities. They're there because they have like big spooky abilities.
Right. So I think the one thing that I'm a bit afraid of with the Wyatt Six is they see the value of reacting on the fly, right? But sometimes you have to stay the course regardless of what's online. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We sat and watched this documentary this week on YouTube about how The Rock created WrestleMania. I mean,
you got to. You got to.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, you know what I think, Triple H, what we should do.
You got to.
Is pivot.
If I was in
make it 2 nights.
Here's how I would have saved it.
You got to.
2 nights. And the first night has stakes. Like, all right, Dwayne, come on, brother.
You got to.
Brother. You are starting to become the new Hogan. Like, without
is it fair to say that we're hitting a point where people love The Rock, but they're kind of getting sick of Dwayne?
Sick. God dang sick.
Dwayne, who is Dwayne? Like, I know who Dwayne is, but who is Dwayne and who's The Rock? Dwayne is
the guy who you see on the documentaries.
Dwayne is
not
not
to get you to believe that he's pulling the strings and he's doing everything. Dwayne, you want to know who Dwayne is? Dwayne is the guy who goes on Instagram and reuses the same clips every 8 months. Like, hey guys, trying Krispy Kreme for the first time. We're gonna go to the drive-thru and get this. And people are just like, didn't you post a video of you doing Krispy Kreme for the first time like a year ago? Wait a minute, didn't I also see you post that same clip in 2018? Like, he does this same shit where he recycles Instagram clips.
That's funny though, because saying Dwayne Johnson is Hollywood. The Rock went to Hollywood, and
right.
are we saying the Rock went to Hollywood and became Dwayne Johnson?
He became Dwayne Johnson when
I feel like Dwayne was always there.
He was always there, but he had a coming out party as Dwayne in the early 2010s, right before he joined the Fast series. Because remember,
when he was Content Viagra or whatever they call franchise Viagra,
but because remember, there was a point right before that where he was not down the pegging order, but like he was just doing Disney. He was doing like Journey to the Center of the Earth sequel, and like Escape from Witch Mountain and Tooth Fairy, and then he had that movie Faster where he was like flirting with doing action stuff again. Then all of a sudden he had like the Fast movies, G.I. Joe, and he was like coming out as the franchise Viagra.
Shout out Steph Hardy.
Shout out Steph Hardy. She has a step.
She's been getting busy this weekend.
Yeah, this is the second time talking to Tiff Stratton on Magic. I saw her interview her earlier. Anyway, what were you saying, Vin?
No, like there was a clear point where he switched from being Dwayne to like the Dwayne we thought we knew to the real Dwayne, where he's like all yoked up with the big shoulders, the pop on his back. It is gonna be epic. But like it was when he started doing those action movies again, switched back from doing the Disney movies.
Great Big Rock was G.I. Joe. That was when he was Roadblock, whatever.
Yes.
He was Great Big Rock. I was like, oh, Hollywood Rock ain't got a goddamn wellness policy. Good God.
No.
It looked like he really did rip the gun off the tank and start shooting niggas with it.
I feel like maybe I'm in the minority. I think I expect this. I don't like we're I don't want to say we're watching WWE, but we're watching WWE, and if you watch, especially if you watch WWE when they produce
documentary,
that's key. And think about the last like 30 years of how they've developed their documentaries and everything. Like this is standard formula. It's just
now the Rock's at the head
no, but remember I think that's why I like starting the question with when did the Rock become Dwayne Johnson? Because we're saying Dwayne Johnson was developed while over time in Hollywood. Over that time, one thing that he would have picked up over everything is the ability to structure a narrative. Even if it's not a great narrative, at some point you got to know where the Fast and the Furious crew is going to be at the end of the movie to set up the next one. And if you can do it where you're having storylines crossing here and there, and put the gold star of The Rock being like, I spearheaded this thing that I returned to the WWE and made this glorious Netflix, like the conversation about The Rock becoming the new Hulk Hogan, I think is very valid. And I think right now you're starting to see what like the next edition, because he's going to be talk about accoutrement. The Rock is going to be getting so many accolades off of the work he's going to be doing for WWE over the next couple of years that his face is going to, if you didn't think his face was on that Rushmore already, it's going to be etched right next to Hulk Hogan.
No, because now he's in the TKO. Now he's
on the board.
You know, I think right now, and I just realized the first time I saw Dwayne.
When?
Beyond the Mat. When
that was the first
Foley
glimpse of Dwayne.
When Foley was telling him, like, yo, you was really hitting me in the head real hard. He was like, oh, yeah. No, we did good. That was great.
He totally.
Yeah, and he kind of was just like, oh, yeah, no, we did a good job. It's like, that wasn't the question.
Joey, too. Like, good to see you. All right, man. Good match, bro. All right. Love you. Love you, bro.
You're right. I always think about that. He really was just, like, Foley really was like wanting to get a heart to heart. Like, yeah, you know, we really played out on the line there. I think I got like 5 concussions, and he was just like, yeah, that's good. Good job. We did it. I'm getting out of here.
Do y'all, Joe Dixon, you think Tiffany Stratton's about to be Fu?
I think he was asking, but I don't think so. I thought before Mania, she was going to get something.
Right.
I thought it was time. And they already knew, you know, she was due whatever. So I think now it's time. Tiffany.
Yeah, I feel like Bailey may be the food, which is not uncommon.
It's also not going to do anything bad to
no,
so
yeah,
it should be fine.
And imagine the whatever the match is going to be between the two of them is going to be phenomenal. You right,
tough,
Rock
right?
the
Yeah.
Foley. You tough, right? You tough. You could take them chair shots, right? No,
Yeah, with your family right there in the front row.
Whenever we
They were crying.
yeah, I think the way that the way that this era feels like it's moving, where they feel like they're making movies, I think it almost behooves them to align with The Rock and remember how many movies he's doing and who he's been working with and how he's learned how to construct things that can bring the masses in and make a lot of money. He may
start bringing in. I wouldn't be shocked if he's already started to bring in people.
I would assume so. Hollywood. Yeah. I would imagine that they're if they've not already started developing it, there's something brewing. He's coming back.
I'm still shocked that we didn't see Kevin Hart at all during Mania weekend. Shocked.
He's too busy doing Kai Cenat streams.
I mean, hey, have you watched them streams though?
What did you see where he blew up his house?
Wasn't it a work?
It was a total work.
People online going, "Did you see he really blew up his room?" It's like, no, he didn't blow up his room.
Yeah, you gotta look at the rug. This wasn't as dirty as his real rug was. But I'm going to assume that if somebody had called Kevin Hart, I would imagine it would have been a conversation. He's a Philly boy.
This is the conversation.
That Metro booming ad.
Apparently, young Metro trusts Cody.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder how hard they're going to be going with Atlanta for that particular pay-per-view. Because I mean, I didn't see a press release. I didn't see an official WWE thing. I saw a random account had taken a screenshot of the end of that video, but Metro Boomin had put it out there.
Yeah,
I hate Marco Stunt.
Marco Stunt is back. Kofi Jamal says, "Let him wrestle Kevin Hart in a WWE AEW crossover." I'm good.
The Forbidden Floor.
Nice. Where does Marco Stunt? Is he back in a major company, or is
he got his ass kicked by Jack? Jack Perry beat his ass tonight.
Yeah, he came back out at on Collision.
On Collision.
Oh,
yeah.
Wasn't he Me Too'd?
I don't know.
Marco Stunt? Nah, look.
It wasn't like his brother. Maybe it was his brother.
Marco Stunt would have tried something. The lady was like, "Get away from me, little nigga." Like,
I'd have to look. I'd have to look to see. Most Skrilla.
I know Marty Skrull's been out and about trying to post stuff about wanting to get back in a big company.
I wonder how much of Black Atlanta messes with celebrity, Black Hollywood Atlanta.
How long till Cody cuts It's Just Big Me promo?
How many cookouts is Cody going to be at this summer?
Outstanding.
Well, you know they do cookouts at the Performance Center for the fans.
What type of cookout?
Last time I was in Orlando.
No, you know, you hear that Brian Alvarez clip.
I wanted to pull up.
Yeah, what type of cookouts we talking about? who's making the food? Or they...
Shout out to Simp, man. Get him right, Simp.
Yeah, Simp. Let's figure this out, buddy. Let's
get him right. Get him together.
Goddamn. Nah, but I don't. He did the Pivot podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's chilling with He's chilling in the car with Metro Boot Cody Raheem. See, I can't.
He's just hanging out in the car.
He's just chilling in the car with Metro Boomin.
What, they want to go get some Sonic and just like...
They had binoculars?
Them niggas in there like...
Cody said, "Nah, I'm drinking this Wheatley. I'm good. I'm
He was
good."
like, Cody was pushing his hand like, "Nah, we on camera, baby." A little bit more.
Young
We
Metro.
on camera.
What? I wonder how much more is going to be. It's interesting. Again, there's a lot of news, a lot of stuff happening, and announcing that for October today, it just feels like storyline. It feels like they're picking particular spots to drop this stuff. Because when I saw that, and then when this one said bad bloodline, I'm like, yeah, goddamn, and it's all black and red. Like, it just kind of makes sense.
Is that gonna be now predicting a cage match? Are they gonna keep the?
I mean,
So, you know what? The one thing that might happen, they've been talking about it a lot lately, is Woods hasn't had any single titles. I think they might go and give him like the US or something at Bad Blood. I think they're gonna do a bunch of home game stuff. There are a few because I didn't realize, like we were talking earlier, and I knew Cody was from Georgia, right? But he's billed from Atlanta, like on TV.
Yeah.
So
made sense.
Home game for him, home game for Woods. Like, you know, Atlanta is old school, you know what I mean? CNN, you know what I mean? Ted Turner and all that. There's a bunch of stuff that they could do with that in addition to doing whatever bloodline stuff that they're going to do.
What they could do Woods versus Kofi at Bad Blood.
They definitely could.
They could.
They could do Finn and Damian could probably have some type of match. If Rhea's back, you could have Liv and Rhea have some type of match.
So you think that? See, now you're cooking with grease because now you're getting into an idea of the entire pay-per-view sort of
having
being
some type
about these grudge matches.
Yeah, why not?
Bad
Why not
blood.
let it fly? Why not let it fly, as Flight Reacts would say. Why not let it fly? I don't know. I'm kind of upset. I recorded an episode. I recorded an episode of the Black Rasslin Podcast Club the other day where I watched the Could Have Been House reunion, and I found this as I was watching. There's this amazing clip from Drewski that I really love, but it's really hard to use this naturally. But Drewski, there was somebody fighting, and Drewski said,
He did that for his man, bro.
He did that for his man. I was trying to figure out situations where somebody did that for their man tonight, but nobody really did it for their man tonight. They was all doing it for Uno Nuno.
Yeah.
Unless she was bloodline.
Nah, Suit Wuso. Suit Wuso did it for his man. Anything that Suit Wuso did it for his man.
He did that for his man, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shouts out to Suit
Wuso.
I'm sorry, Suit. Wait, actually,
Wuso?
speaking of Suit Wuso, what was I forget what move it was. He got hit, and it sounded like the back of his head went boom up against the ring announce table. And he was on.
Tongaloa?
Yeah.
Yeah, Suit Wuso.
That that did not. That didn't
It looked
sound
bad.
good.
It looked bad.
You know what? They I don't know if anyone else noticed this. Shout out to Winston from Show Your Work. He brought it up to me earlier. That have you noticed that like the audio, like the in-ring audio, has been much clearer lately?
I've not paid attention to that specifically.
That the specifically tonight, like you could really hear like the clang of the ladders and like the in-ring stuff. Like it really felt like they were getting hit.
I'd have to watch that back. It was a plancha. Yeah, a plancha. That was nuts. It was Cody that did it. That was nuts. It sounded nuts anyway. But hey,
He did that for his man, bro.
There for his man. I'm sorry.
For his man. But you know, Cody's known for loving to take that bump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was the other bump? It was Braun jumping from the apron to hit Sammy, who was on the table. That shit was crazy.
My nigga Braun Artest.
Braun Artest got hops. He got hops for
my
real.
guy. Shout out to my guy Braun Artest.
This
crazy.
is interesting.
It's crazy.
Braun Artest is running into the stands.
Him and his two dads. You can't count on me. I'm sorry. That was a good show.
It was a good show. I'm surprised it's not on Pluto TV yet.
Maybe when he got slammed against, I don't fucking know. He looked like he wasn't right the rest of the match. No, I
mean, he didn't have a whole lot to do the rest of the match, so it was good, air quotes, that it happened when it did.
I will say, I actually, brother Fam, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. I should pull this up. I did calculate the.
I was just thinking about the same thing, actually.
I calculated the means, and DDM and I are tied.
I'm okay with that, but you should win.
We got to flip a coin, yeah.
Yep.
DDM talking cash shit after that first match.
The first match.
I had to say, you know, we got the rest of the show. I think what messed us up, what messed everybody up, who was it? Everybody had Braun Breaker, and DDM was the only one that picked Drew McIntyre.
The coin flip for me was Tiffy Time with Chelsea Green. I knew it was going to be one of the two.
Yeah, Tiffy Time. I shouldn't have picked Jey Uso. I should have went a totally different direction, but
you should have yeeted when you had.
Well, I feel like I feel like that's the same thing. It was one or two people were going to win that match.
And then the other one won. The person I didn't even think needed to be in that match won the match.
No facts. That's what I thought. I was like,
time.
they don't need him to win.
Why's he got to be there?
But if you were going to do it,
that's his deal.
That's
kind of his deal
have
now.
Him cash in later that night. Like,
is he eating donuts right now? Shit. He looked like he had a what you call on his arm. So
a donut on his arm.
He also had hokas on. And I like that he had hokas on because he was in there trying not to get hurt. That nigga went in there with them goddamn dad shoes on, goddamn $200 dad shoes, and walked out.
Wear something comfortable, like some Crocs, some Hey Dudes.
No, he definitely looked comfortable.
I hate both of those, by the way. I hate both of those options. The goddamn. I hate Hey Dudes and I hate Crocs. That's the pair we see everybody in.
I know you hate the Crocs, but you hate the Hey Dudes.
Oh yeah, I hate those things.
I can't do that. And these are worn too. Like he really
he's gonna snap his toes.
He really wear them shits. He got the zipper.
Yeah, Hogan's them goddamn BBL soles on him.
I don't like them. I can't rock with them at all. That's not me. If I go to the run a shoe store, that's not me.
You still shop for sneakers with aesthetics in mind first.
Facts.
So do I.
He don't care.
Probably shouldn't. But F y'all.
Yeah, but F y'all. I don't need no hokas. Rainbow hokas.
Not wearing no goddamn hokas.
Yeah, Punk vs. Drew giving Brett vs. Austin 96-97 vibes as a rivalry. AJ Jones says,
I don't know if I could go that far, but you're not wrong. You're
not wrong in that direction. I mean, I think the beauty of this is that it's been building. Mm-hmm. Like we're July, and it's been like 8 months roughly.
That's funny because the funny part about that is Punk and Rollins have a similar type heat to it. Like
right.
It only took today. It's right back up. We had almost forgot. Almost forgot, and then he screwed both of them.
Fact.
And it's right back up. And he sat in his face. Crisscross applesauce holding it. Yep, right back to it.
That was November, so yeah. Interesting.
This long-term storytelling.
This scrum is low-key why Paul Levesque's gonna be. This scrum is why I don't really rock with the scrums like that. No shade to the scrum.
Yeah, I was curious as to how long it was gonna take all those folks to get down to where you got to be.
If you're doing the scrum and you're in the area you're supposed to be in, they like end of the show. You hit a designated point. You're supposed to, head to where you're supposed to go.
But I couldn't have had that conversation on the show because that was crazy.
Yeah.
But I sat and I watched that process.
Yeah.
At Mania, But I was like, well, wow, because I know in Philly it was an elevator, right?
Right.
And certain people had scrum access, and certain people just had other sort of access or whatever, not necessarily that much access. And I sat and watched them say, well, y'all without the access, y'all hold back because we got to get these niggas to the.
Oh, see, I've not seen it on that grand of a scale.
They said we got to get the scrumming now. Y'all hold back.
Like, I think for a pay-per-view like this, especially something that's not like a SummerSlams or some of the bigger pay-per-views, they may have it may not be as big of a crew as a WrestleMania. It may not be as many people, many hands on deck, especially because for those smaller shows, they're probably inviting specific people because they can do all of the things and they're not just social media or just influencer or whatever.
Yeah, matter of fact, man, shout out to Steph for getting in that room, man.
Salute.
Yeah, no, like this is one of the first pay-per-views in a while where it feels like a B pay-per-view. And it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad
But like a lot of the B pay-per-views that they've done recently, they'll go to, and granted they went to Toronto this time, but they go to France, and it's a huge French crowd that hasn't seen WWE come their way in a long time. Yeah. Whereas Toronto was, if you could say, scaled down for a crowd of 20,000 people, it did feel a little more scaled down than the last couple.
Right. I think part of the thing too is like, I was wondering how that tag team title win on Friday night was going to impact the show at all. Not saying that it did impact, but
wow! Shout out Brock.
Shouts to Brock. Peace to Brock. There weren't any title changes tonight. One of the briefcases is gone. We really only got one briefcase.
That's smart, man. It's
a bunch of stories.
It's such smart business. Yeah.
It's smart business indeed.
Because they, like I said, man, you get so tied up in, it's got to be that one douchebag or that one guy in the meeting that it's always like, yo, what are we going to do with the briefcase?
Right.
We do it next time. It's all right.
Because it when you're doing so much TV, some of them storylines go to the wayside, especially if it's not a premier player for you. If it's a A-Town Down or Damian Sandow or whatever, like, oh shit, we got to remember that we're doing this. Minus 10 points, Kofi Jamal says, not one wrestler said they not like us at any time during the pay-per-view. Grayson Waller was driving a whip into and he was playing They Not Like Us, and it was called on. I think I saw Julian Weeks post that on the timeline. So I feel like there was someone else that was pro wrestling related that had a Not Like Us. I will say, I finally sat and watched that video. The art of the music video is lost.
This was a brilliant music video.
I think I will say, not that people never took time to put their full concept into the visual form. He's had, if you ever wanted to say, let me get everything out that I need into this video, he had a good amount of time to really sit there with the storyboard and be like, wait, I'll hit the Al Pinata here, and then we'll put him in the cage at the end with the font looking like that. Like, there's so many little things, and it really feels like they sat there and said, what's all the shit we could put in here, and they figured what made more sense.
Right, because it could have just been a video where I think a lot of people were kind of expecting when some of the footage leaked that it was just going to be like people him outside with a big crowd behind him, live people outside. And obviously there was a little of that. And I like the little touch of them using the crowd in the chorus.
Yes.
Like little things like that were really good. Like some of the he did a great job at punctuating moments. Like when they did the A minor and it pulled out and he's crip walking over the hopscotch court. Like, what a great reveal.
All right. This isn't going to be popular.
Do it.
Say it.
The level of obsession that Kendrick Lamar had to have to be this successful is wild.
Hey.
What did Drake do to make? Shout out to Riley. You know what I mean? What did he do to make them niggas that mad?
You know,
Is it for us to know? What
well,
he did?
I think there may be two schools of thought. I think one, they've known each other for a minute. Drake's the one that really put Kendrick on like one of his big tours.
He was on his first album.
Who knows? They've known each other for so long, and the subliminals been throwing. It could have been for a while, or Kendrick told him, I'm not trying to fight, bruh. Don't do this. There's some people that when they get into that beef shit, they're gonna take it there.
There isn't a BRP.
Yeah, AJ, you
Ain't no such thing.
there's not a BRP 50 hat for sale. No, I think there's some people that they don't want to fight you because they know if they fight you, they're gonna go all out. And then when you bring in children and family and whatnot, some people do a switch does flip. I'm thinking it's a combination of the two.
I don't know if there was any. I think when we heard that Future verse, Kendrick was on 100.
Oh yeah,
he was already like, I want blood.
he knew he was writing an EP the next day.
He knew, like, this nigga's been writing poetry to Drake for quite some time at this point.
Yeah.
Like, he's very angry. What did he do to make that nigga that mad? The other messed up thing, turn me down, because it's gonna be a little loud.
No, say it.
It's the second time in a row where a nigga tangled with Drake, and it rose his profile significantly.
Yeah.
This happened to be quite arguably the best rapper of this era, raising his stock.
That's why it stings even more for him.
Yeah.
Because he made a hit. He did that shit and made a hit. Because that song, the question now is, when is it going to stop?
Right, because
and a lot of it is just because it's the A minor. There's so many parts that are just they stick in people's heads.
It's a singular moment.
Yeah,
because you haven't seen a rap beef like this in a while.
Yes,
you haven't seen one that truly got like this. I'm not gonna say personal, but like specific. Because maybe it used to just be like, you claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. Like,
right.
I'm the big dog in town. You're not. Like, it's just like typical like jaw jacking kind of stuff.
Right.
It's not like I'm accusing you of being a you know what, like you're hiding children, and like this is very like specific.
I'll always say I will always stick to, in real life, no one cares that he had a kid that nobody know about. Like, how, like
they don't, but
Drake,
you package it in a song, and then
Drake is.
It's a great.
Nobody punches down and people like it.
Right.
Right.
You shoot up at that nigga that's success wise. I ain't saying best wise.
Right.
That nigga that's on the top of the mountain, and oh man, people love that. It's why people loved Ether. He was on top of that mountain.
It's the presentation though too. With Kendrick, it's the fact that he made a diss track.
I hear that's
to respond to Drake, and then had another diss track ready to go like 8 hours later.
That's where he won. When it was, what was the one that day before Family Matters? Euphoria. He dropped Euphoria in the morning, and then Family Matters was that night, and then got dang Meet the Grams was 25 minutes later. That's where he won for me. Yeah, my son likes both guys, but he was leaning Drake there, and or Drake in this beef,
right?
And Earl, he was upstairs. You know what I'm saying? With the little
Family Matters.
Yeah.
616 in LA. Yeah, I gotta go back because it was that 2 weeks was very.
But then you add in the pop out concert.
Well, the pop out.
That was like a
because he doesn't do those kind of things.
Correct. This is the pop out was running out of the shotgun with a 40-point lead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was, we won. Well, watch this.
Yeah, watch this.
You know what I'm saying? So let me take this win and do more with it. Let me unify the West Coast with this win. Let me and so that's the dope thing. I don't know how we got here.
I mentioned the video.
But I think that's
on a random.
I think that's what he did with that concert is
Popping out.
He purposed it.
Yeah,
he didn't just like we won, nigga. He barely even like it felt like he wasn't even talking to Drake at that point that night. He was just performing the song and getting and rallying the troops. And all the West Coast niggas.
But also remember that he was because a lot of those songs were a lot of the songs where those subliminal lines that people are talking about. He was going through a lot of that stuff. So on another level, the pop out was kind of showing you this how long this. I've been waiting to show this motherfucker what time it was, for whatever reason. Shouts to D Skills. D Skills has been active. Actually, I do want to say peace to we recorded we did a pre-record and dropped it as a premiere on 4th of July, and you would have thought it was we was in the building. It was dope to see all the people on there, and D Skills is one of them people who I just been seeing a lot. So salute to you, my brother. Looking forward to the Judgment Day implosion. That's like people looking forward to the downfall of Drake, huh?
Yes, it's on the way.
Till the fall.
It's on the way.
Yes, it's gonna last until the fall. I've heard several people bring up that once colleges get back into session. Yeah. All the homecomings, bands that are going to start playing it during games, like it's going to have a whole other life.
Yes. They may start dancing. And, it's going to be a problem.
The other teams, not like us.
From Mad TV, from Drumline, the goddamn.
Oh, Orlando
Jones back there. Jones. Jordan is a wrestler. Yeah, man, Joe, he already teaching them. It's Nick Cannon. Give me the drums right here. Give me some drums. Then the horn. And he got the flutes. Play freaky ass nigga. You a 69. Got a flute. Give me the horn.
Freaky ass nigga. You a 69 god.
Here's the problem.
Yes.
Here's the problem.
Yes.
Because there is a gap here, right? There is a chance for non-hip hop people to make this corny.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It hasn't hit SNL yet, has it?
Well, SNL's been off. So
yeah, they've been off. Shout out Brock. Peace to Brock, my brother.
Shout out to Brock.
But there's time for people who don't care about culture and nonsense because remember, Kendrick did the genius thing of saying you can't be struck for copyright for this one. Anybody can use it.
Right. Reactors, all that. Yeah.
But when they get into them targeting Old Navy, you know what I'm saying?
How about that?
You know what I mean? Who got the sale? Y'all not like us.
Yeah.
The Target ain't got the sale.
Black Friday. They not like us. They not like us.
Sometimes you gotta do a pop-out sale. Like
yo, sometimes you gotta do a pop. Sometimes you gotta dress up and show niggas. You know what I'm saying?
You pop out and discount them. Jesus.
Pop out and discount.
That's nuts. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna
be episode. Yes. So shout out to Uncle D. That's the other thing he did, and this is the Drake effect for me. Is Kendrick had a record at the beginning of the video that it was hard.
It was hard.
Snippet was hard, but it wasn't the music Kendrick usually makes.
No,
this didn't sound like Damn. Or To Pimp a Butterfly. It definitely didn't sound like Big Steppers.
He vibing.
It's the nigga. He's making flow records instead of bar records, right?
Yeah, it's because I mean, like D Skill said, crazy album rollout.
I was gonna say there's something big coming.
There's something on the way. It may not be this summer. It may be in the fall, but there's something. What did I say? Here, I wasn't even thinking about it. Wayno said it. He's probably going to win a Grammy, which would really piss Drake off.
Because
The first person he's going to think if he wins the Grammy, I would like to think Aubrey Graham.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what Wayno said. Wayno said he's going to win a Grammy, and his Grammy acceptance speech is going to be disrespectful. That's probably what's going to happen. Shouts to Kofi, man. What's going on? I wasn't expecting none of this tonight. God damn, remind me of Mad City. That's what people said. Kofi said, I have a problem with that line. Why is 69 God a bad thing when that's a good thing? Can we reclaim that? If you are a 69 God, I wouldn't talk about that out in the public right now.
That's just your level of freedom, though.
But that's also just creativity. I think
that is the only thing I do not like about this beef.
He gonna win a Grammy,
and everybody say
69 is overrated. It's funny.
Outstanding. Everybody says ain't no rules to battles and all that. I guess not. The pedo stuff I don't like.
It's messy.
But I also think, and I said this, I'm also okay. Shout out to Brock. I'm okay with the colonizer stuff. You tried to play an angle in the rap where you let me put you on game. Like, I'm okay with that.
And that Atlanta bit in Not Like Us, especially when he break it down with them. I'm like, damn, nah, he really got that off right there.
That was a slick little angle. Niggas do that in battles. I do not like the pedophile stuff because what I think, and I said this in our chat, but I don't know if I said this publicly. Is I feel like, back in the day, and I mean the 90s, early 2000s, the bar or the insult, of course, was to go to, oh, nigga, you gay. But you can't do that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gay bad, you're homophobic. You can't do that. So I feel like pedophilia is the pivot, and I think that's gross.
If that's the case, I think during the conversation, I think that was a thing. I not to say that it's not a thing, but I would need to hear it more outside of this, only because. Like you could go to YouTube if you really wanted. You can go to YouTube and find receipts of Drake instances throughout his career that could look away. And his relationship with Millie Bobby Brown's one really big one. But it's up to you to how much you do or don't think what that is. But I think it's because there's no
think that's a great deal of his base. He's. That's the people who like his records. Nice for what is for young girls. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's why the question comes up. There's just one video which someone told me was kind of off base, but there's one Math watched it too. I forget the name of the channel, but they were breaking down Meet the Grams, I believe, and a lot of it was about Drake's history, and because there's an interview that he did on was it Chelsea Handler's show, where he was talking about when he was 14 or 15, one of his mom's friends used to serve him wine spritzers, and he thought she was coming on to him, and then a lot of the because he's still a wine spritzer guy, and there's video of him having parties with women who I don't know what age they are, but you may want to ask the question before you approach some of them. It looked like they have. There's a lot of funny through lines with him in his life where if you wanted to connect those dots, you could. But that's the thing. Without concrete evidence, it's hard to really stake a flag in a lot of that stuff. I don't know. But the freaky ass nigga, you a 69 God. I mean 6 God. Some people, I guess, what they do in a 69 is freaky. It kind of makes sense, but if you call yourself a 69 God before Not Like Us, I would chill on that until whenever. It may be a minute.
You know what I really like?
Maybe a bit, yeah.
Before we set things up, you know how I like to start the party.
Just here, I got it. Just read what's on the back of this card. Yeah, are you cool with that?
Oh my gosh! The funny part
you okay?
is, and then the nigga Drake, the last little record he came out with, he defended himself like a man defends himself. Yo, was
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Yo, nigga, you like your girl comes to you. You been at the job all this. You've been doing it to turn you over at your job. Nigga, if I wanted to do it to a woman at my job, it wouldn't be Tanya. I'd have hit Theta. I'd have hit Lena. I'd have hit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he did.
Not the best
he
response,
did
no.
what a man usually does when he wrong. I could be doing it to all the women.
If I
but
wanted
I'm
to,
not.
I could.
So
Yeah,
leave me
yeah.
alone.
It was bad. It was bad. You got to be a
was-
little more
wasn't a good
affirmative
look.
in your "that's not me."
Nah,
Right.
you know they'd got me if I had was really doing it.
It's right. And well, I will say, I mean, he's got like it's a lot of features, right? He's not dropped like a song yet. He if he's gonna survive this, he's gonna need whenever, but he's gonna need
But see,
something.
that's the thing that's how music works, right? Is how music works is you just gotta survive, wade out the storm. Like you gotta survive.
Fact.
Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Let it be where the goddamn, let everything blow over.
He doesn't.
Where this nigga is still firing you up every week.
You don't mention
Every
him
time
at
you
all.
stand up, the nigga like sit down. Every single time. You have to get to the point where he's tired of swinging, and then put the single out and get everybody dancing.
Oh wow!
It
Coach,
may be next summer, Drake.
That's a good point, Coach. Tekashi 6ix9ine had the pedo stuff as well. I didn't even think about that.
What happened?
Well, when Kendrick saying "freaky ass nigga, you a 69 god," that could be a reference to Tekashi 6ix9ine because he had there was like the one infamous case where he may have had like it was like child porn. I forget the specific. It was like a 16-year-old girl that got mixed up in something, and he got like real charges off that.
I see. Now listen, I'm not gonna be able to tell you anything about Takashita 67.
Yeah, I understand.
None of them niggas. Takeshka 6ix9ine. I don't know.
I was working
I don't know
at
that
Complex.
nigga.
I was working at Complex at the.
Oh yeah, you was over the place. Yeah, they was all. He was,
that
you ever
was-
seen him over there?
Yeah.
You did see him over there.
One of
Oh, what was the record? He had a hard record.
Gummo was the first one. Gummo was the hard record that he had. I don't think he had a record that he probably had records that were bigger than that, but I don't think he had records that were harder than that at all.
Blicky with the sticky up.
Yes. That record was everywhere that summer as well. He was, but he might have. I don't remember if Gummo was out like that before. He was cool with there's video with him at Academics at the Complex office. I was more than likely there that day. That would have been like 6-7 years ago at this point. I'm sorry, Kofi. I'm sorry. It's been a long night. I've not been paying too much attention to a Triple H. They did mention, or somebody asked about the lawsuit and the government looking
Janelle
into
Grant
everything.
stuff.
He said, "I can't answer that."
Yeah, what do you
I
what do you want
can't
him to
answer
say?
that. And then he went right. He looked for someone else to ask a question.
I respect that. I like H. I like Triple H in this role. I think he does good. I don't think he takes himself too serious. I think he's smart and he shows how savvy he is to understand that some of this stuff is culturally past him, and he's able to even like navigate that stuff by being like, I'm an old man. What do you want me to say?
But yeah, I think that
because some people are just like, oh, everyone
Trey.
should be asking questions in the
Trey.
shout
He's a
out.
Trey.
People are like, oh, everyone should be asking questions nonstop about the lawsuit. It's like he's gonna give you the same answer every single time. Like, what do you?
Let me
want
get
to
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna answer this as recklessly as possible outside of the court of law, so that as soon as someone feels like they want to use these quotes against me, they can just have them. I don't care. I just want to make sure that the people online are fed tonight.
Yeah, clearly, I wouldn't.
Is that what y'all want them to say?
I don't. I think realistically, I think the only time he would even answer those questions if he like agreed to sit down with like a whatever profiles being done for a magazine or an outlet or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are the times you're going to get that stuff. He's not going to be able to be doing
the
that.
big Vanity Fair piece on the turnaround in WWE. Like
clearly, like I don't. This isn't the first time where he's been asked this stuff and he's kind of like immediately been like, dodge. I'm here to talk about wrestling. Like that's his
I don't
thing.
even know if that was a dodge. I feel like that was like, dude, this isn't the venue for that. This isn't the I can't do that here.
But then you've got the people who are like, well, why isn't it the venue for that? It's because it's just not. Like,
They're gonna
read the room.
Because there are legal ramifications. Or like this isn't something that's been settled.
Right. Well, and I think that's always been my one thing because the more I watch Triple H in these instances, the more I realize that he's not ever really going to give those answers. But I don't think they're even going to like give him a blanket statement to be like, because some organizations, because he is the main person who's going to be the one speaking for WWE. You can't ask this to Cody or Bailey or whoever, but he doesn't even have like a prepared statement of like, this is still an ongoing investigation, so I can't speak. Like he don't even mention any of that. He's not even worrying about that conversation at all coming from him.
I think if he has a prepared statement that way, I think it would make him look away. And I think he is, like I said, savvy enough to, instead of having a prepared statement, being able to just be like, listen, that's nothing I can talk about.
And while I'm sure he's abreast of, the situation and, things moving along with it, I would not be shocked if he genuinely just, isn't really that up on it in the way that people would want him to be. Like he's running the company. Yeah. They've got the lawyers working on it. They've got a whole legal team working on that.
Right.
So Uncle D says the scrums aren't real press conferences. It's like a continuation of the show. The folks that are in that room are asking the questions that they want to ask. These aren't, those questions aren't fed to them. There's no, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They let
everything's a part of the show in pro wrestling.
Right. But yes, these people have been approved to be in this room and they've looked and seen the history of these people. But it's not scripted.
No, it's not scripted.
No,
it's not. And I think
as he should.
If
as
it was
right.
But I think the other thing is if it was a situation where it got to be outside of the script, it's not. They know how to handle that stuff as well. But I don't. The more I see how he interacts in these instances, I think it's the more I can tell that he at least wants to be seen that his focus is what you're seeing in the ring, in the show.
Content officer. He wants to focus on the content.
I'm going to be talking to you about what happened and what the future may be as best as I can. Yeah, it's and again, I think at the end of the day, still open investigation from the government.
Yeah.
Let
me ask you guys a question really quick. I know both of you gentlemen have interviewed people of note.
Yeah.
I know in the past, while doing the same, beforehand, there's that conversation of, hey, is there any direction you don't want me to go in here, before we start recording? Without going into, of course, any specifics, but have you guys gotten any like wild answers to that question or to that situation where someone said, well, hey, stay away from XYZ, and of course, while you're talking to me, you're like, yeah, fine, I won't go into it. But in your mind, you're like, oh, this nigga's wild. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's happened a couple times, but it's never been anything where it's like, if I were to bring it up, okay, we're shutting this interview down right now. Because when you go into an interview, you have to kind of know, you got to be sharp. You got to know the ground rules right off the bat. Like, they're not going to take the interview of you if there's a sense that you're just going to be some schmuck who's going to go off script and start asking about stuff that they shouldn't. Like, I've interviewed writers for TV shows before, and a lot of times, like, it's just known that, like, oh, you shouldn't ask about, in-depth questions about like the host of that TV show, because it's
Right.
not that writer's place to speak about the personal lives of whoever.
Right.
So like you just need to know to kind of just stay in your lane. And if you are gonna venture outside and ask, not even a wild question, but if there's like one question you want to get out there that is like pointed at all, it needs to be. Here's a little trick. It needs to be your very last question.
Because
that
you
way,
don't want that weird feeling after.
You don't want that weird feeling, and you can cushion it in a way. Like there was, like I once interviewed years ago a writer who wrote one of the Marvel movies, and they were working on one of the new ones after that. And then before the interview, it was like, hey, I can't really talk about the new project I'm working on, blah blah blah. But like we had a very good conversation for about an hour, and at the very end, I was like, hey, listen, like, I know we can't really talk about it, but, is there anything you can say about any of your upcoming projects that you would want people to know?
Right.
So you kind of toss it back on them, like, hey, I'm not, like, I'm putting it out there, but I'm not, like, asking you directly. It's kind of like, do you want to get something out there? Like, you have to kind of turn it on them sometime.
Right.
I had one guy, I'm trying to, because I can't, like, I asked that same question. Like, is there anything you don't want me to talk about? And for the most part, the answer I get is, you can ask me anything. If you ask me something I don't like, I'll be able to navigate around. Right. That is usually the answer I get. 2 or 3 times I've gotten, don't ask me this, done. Somebody was like, yo, don't ask me such and such kind of questions. And I was like, I couldn't respond like, wow.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you never know what people got pending.
Yeah, shit, how about that? The only instance that really comes to mind is the day that I was set to interview Christopher Nolan for the home release of Tenet. I was literally, the junket was, I was on hold for a while. It was like he was a lot of people. So it was like, they were like, whatever time you had, add like 35 minutes. So while I'm waiting, Entertainment Tonight drops an article where Christopher Nolan's like lambasting Warner Brothers for the HBO Max, the money for the streaming and movies not going in. Like it was that day. To the point where, because a lot, like, I don't really have a lot. Like when I'm doing non-wrestling interviews, I don't really have a lot of those questions. But when you're in junkets, they'll let you know, like, such and such an actress, her name is pronounced like this. You can't talk about other projects, only stuff that they're doing now. But they,
as Miss Hill.
The facts. But they went over, like, for the people that are waiting in the Zoom, they were like, you can't mention anything about Warner Brothers or the comments that were, like, the article had just hit. I'm like, oh, great, that's what's up. But the crazy part is, in conversation, we got there, and he just gave me, he'll give you information anyway. So I think it's sometimes
it's the publicist trying to cover the actor or the director.
Because people, like, especially in those instances where people are trying to just get a quote, they will just go ahead and blur the question out, thinking that they can get something. But I think part of it, if you know what you're doing and know how to navigate some of those conversations, you can kind of steer it to the pandemic and go there. Not saying that's what I did, but like, sometimes you can get into an area where that topic is going to come up and they can naturally just, give you a little piece of information or whatever. But yeah, I always look at it as, if I don't ask the question and they give me the information, and 9 times out of 10, the people who work at the companies are on the call as well. So right. If something comes up, they'll drop something in the chat or say something. I've never had that before where they've been like, we can't do this or you got to edit that out or whatever. But
I've been that person in the chat during BRP before.
Facts. That's the thing. It's like there are instances where those protocols are there because You want to be like if they think somebody's going to really talk, you need somebody there to wave a flag and be like, hey, shut the hell up with what's going on.
Yeah, because I think these guys with these type of personalities, these successful people who are really good at one thing, usually lacking another part, and awareness is one of those blind spots usually for these people, and also. They also usually think like, nigga, nah, I know better. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I don't care.
Fact.
They're not the ones that care. It's that team that knows, like, no, nigga, shut up.
Right.
One of the you gotta be like Ed Lover covering up Tupac mouth. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we gonna go to another video. That's crazy. Well, hey,
play boss right now.
Play boss. I don't know if I'm all talked out, but I do think it may be time to put an end to this. I wasn't expecting anybody to really pop up like this.
You want to do a bonus? You want to do a bonus LeBron segment or?
Nah,
We got.
You don't want to do the Bronnies?
We'll have to schedule a LeBron conversation. I just need to get an understanding of everything that's going on.
I think Matt should be there. Vin should be there too. Vin and Matt should be in on that.
Yeah, that may be a. We'll figure that out. Shouts to the chat. Please run the likes up if you've been watching. If we made you laugh once. Shouts to anybody who dropped some money in the collection plate. Really appreciate y'all as always.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that Cena tail with that money. Thank you.
There you go. We're gonna put it right back in the community. Vinforte.substack.com. It's a lot of great stuff to read over there.
Hey, listen, we got in Vin bag. I like because that Kendrick conversation started getting in Vin bag. With the music video. Shout out to Vin.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of you the other day because I did a music video one on it. For people who don't know, go right now, vinforte.substack.com. Mm-hmm. The first time you go there, it should ask you for your email address. Mm-hmm. Put your email address in. Do it right now. I do 2 articles a week on different music videos, and then other articles besides that. But that's like the big project on that page. So vinforte.substack.com. Do that right now before you forget. And fam, I was thinking of you because I went through a wormhole of watching Heavy D videos. And did one last week. Yeah, I did Somebody for Me, which is a great song and a great video. And it made me just think of like how, man, there's no one like Heavy D out there, right? Like that style.
Because there were so many people who listen, you ready to get me in my Buffy bag.
Right.
Listen, I ain't gonna do that. But I will say that Heavy D has more my cousin likes to talk about rappers and their children. But Biggie was definitely a child of Heavy D. Puffy and the stuff that came after him was offspring of 100%. Heavy D. Listen, 100%. That's a whole nother man. Rest in peace, Hev. That's the reason why I wear compression socks every time I go on a flight. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, man. Shout out Heavy D. But yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, had Al B. Sure on that song singing the.
Oh, I mean, it's New Jack Swing, man. Light skin powers unite.
Facts. All right, we are out of here again. Shout vinforte.substack.com, patreon.com.
My belt, man. They took my belt from me.
But going down the Heavy D wormhole, I also saw that on Pluto TV, Rock is now on Pluto TV.
He was
he was Calvin.
Calvin.
He was Calvin. He shot Andre.
He shot Andre. Andre, I'll break your back.
Clifton Powell.
Jeez, boy, that legend.
Clifton Powell's so fucking good. When he goes to talk to the kid in jail.
Trash man.
Rock was so good it was going live.
You bet.
If you're not up on Rock,
find one of your loved ones in one of those trash cans, trash man.
I guess if you're not up on Rock, head over to Tubi after this. Damn anything else. Go watch an episode of Rock right now.
We might got to do an episode. We might got to do that episode of Rock on the Patreon soon.
Well, there's a whole compilation on YouTube of all the Rock and Andre scenes, sort of in order.
We'll figure.
But I don't think that's good for. That wouldn't be good for the Bulls because that's not funny, right?
That's true.
No, Joey. Joey, don't do it, Joey. Eleanor.
We're out. We're out.